Welcome back to Brizy, and we are looking at how to blog in Brizy WordPress, and this is part 3. Today we're talking about templates, and templates are going to come into play into two situations. One, if you want to use the Gutenberg Editor to create posts, yes, you can. And two, for your categories. What I have here is a vanilla installation of WordPress. I already have Brizy installed, and as you hover over it, you're going to see that there is a setting for templates. Do not be fooled when you're using Brizy free, thinking that the templates will give you what you want, because you won't be able to build them out with the elements you need. The elements for the templates will still be locked within Brizy Pro. We will need Brizy Pro for that. I have installed Blocksy as a theme, and the reason I've installed it is I'm going to use one of their starter sites to get us going, and the starter site is designed with Brizy. Go here to travel, I'll click on import. Then I'll go and select Brizy, and from here, just install everything. This is a great example of how a theme can coexist with Brizy and how it builds out the posts and the blogging with the theme, and the rest of the pages are designed within Brizy. Let's go view it quickly so you have an idea of how this site looks. And on our home page, you're going to see that at the top here in the WordPress toolbar, it says Edit Page with Brizy, and this tells us that this page has been designed in Brizy. That will be the same for About and Contact, but if I go to the blog page, you will see we only have Edit Page because that is the limitation of using Brizy free. A few color issues here. I guess that's been with updates over the years. This demo site was made, I think, many years ago. So with a few updates, we'll have to go and change the color scheme. I'm not going to be concerned about that. Let's jump into the back end and see what we have here. Under posts, we have these posts, and they've all been created in the Gutenberg Editor. Now, next, what we want to do is bring in Brizy Pro. I'll go to my plugins, add new plugin, upload plugin, choose my file, grab the latest Brizy Pro, install it, activate, go for my license, and now we are ready to rock and roll. The first thing I want to show you is that when you have created a post within Gutenberg, like this one over here, that you can actually use it as is within Brizy. And for that, you have to create a template. So here we have the post. Everything has been created in the Gutenberg Editor. You can see as I click on these blocks, these are the blocks that you can find over here under the inspector. And this can be done with any Gutenberg add-on. Spectra 2, Green Shift, Cadence blocks, and what's the other one? Stackable. All of them. And there are many, many more on the market. Let's go back into WordPress and I'll show you how this works. Brizy, templates, and we click on Add New. Let's give it a title, Single Post. And note, down here we have a template type, single or archive, and the archive we'll touch on soon. This one is pretty important because many people will neglect to focus on the archive page. I select single, and before you click publish, before you click edit with Brizy, it's important that you click here on add. In this case, I want to apply it to all posts. You can have categories you want to apply to, make different kinds of designs. We don't want to spend time on that. We just want to see how the template works. And I'll click on add, then publish. And after that, edit with Brizy. Now remember that the content has already been created in Gutenberg. Maybe you have this existing website where you have a lot of posts and you want to keep them, but you want to put them in Brizy. And the reason you want to put them in Brizy is because you want to use the Brizy global headers and global blocks. But you don't want to redesign the whole posting. You just want to use the content as is. So we build out here a template for those single posts, keeping in mind that the content is going to come from the Gutenberg Editor. The first one I will do is create a block here, and this will be the part for my title at the very top of my page. So I'll bring in a column. I'm just going to keep this very simple. I'll bring in the featured image for that. I'll bring in a title. I'll bring an excerpt over here. What else? We can put breadcrumbs up there. And then let's wait for that to populate. Put it on the left. Below this, add new block, create your own. And again here, under elements, under single, you see this content. Click, hold, and drag and drop it. And this will populate all the content. Doesn't matter which Gutenberg add-on you've used, it will display here in the way that it has been formatted. Just keep in mind, sometimes with the canvas width, there may be changes from how it was originally designed within Gutenberg and how it will display here, especially if you want a smaller canvas. Oftentimes people for their blogging will use a smaller canvas. Like currently, our canvas is set to, if I put it on pixels, this will be 1170. Oops, let me type that 1170. But you may want to bring it down to 900 for this specific reason. Then you do that within the block. You can keep it boxed. Right, so let's do that. I'll just do that so we can have a little bit of a difference. And now we have created this template only for single posts. So I'll click on Update, click on Preview, and now we have this look. You can see here is the content of that post, all populated in here. Even the images that we didn't see on this side, here they are. Lovely. This is how we create this. Let's go back because there's one thing I want to show you quickly, and that is how to use the text element to bring in dynamic content. Within this title section I'm building out, let's go and grab the text element, click and drop it. And I'll select everything, type in categories, categories, and then enter a hash. And the moment you do that, it gives you dynamic content that you can bring in. Have a look down there. I'm looking for categories over here. I just saw it there. Categories. Update. Preview it on the front end. And there you have the categories included. Important to note about this page, it doesn't have a header and it doesn't have a footer because this is the Brizy template. This now overrides the theme template, which is Blocksy. That means you need to go and design headers and footers within Brizy Pro. That's why you're using Brizy Pro. I'll close all of this, and I think the first thing we're going to do, I'll even close this single post part here. No, let's not close it. Let's exit here at the bottom so you can see that we have under our templates now this one for single post. But let's pop into our pages, and I'll go to the home page, edit with Brizy, and we first convert all those headers and footers into Brizy. We've been using Blocksy, but now we want to put it into Brizy. And the reason for that is maybe you have a mega menu or some feature within Brizy. You just want to keep everything Brizy, then that's the way to go. Go to the page icon here and make sure that the page template is set to Brizy template. If you've been building this website from scratch with Brizy Pro, this will be by default on Brizy template. You can see that the header as well as the footer is gone. Next, we bring in a header, and I'm not going to style it out. I'll just bring it in for reference. Let's give it a menu. Put it in main menu and move it to the top. And the next thing we do is we make it global. And we say we want it on all our pages and posts. So that will include that single post as well. And let's go to the bottom. Same here. Let's bring in a footer. Dark. Let's put a dark one. Easy to see. Great. And we do the same. Make it global. And for the condition, we're going to put that also on all. You can create different headers, different footers for different posts, different categories. We just want to see how it works. So now that we've done this, let's save. Let's just quickly preview it on the front. And this page is our home page. There's the new header. And here at the bottom is our new footer. But we have a problem. If I go to any of the other pages created in Brizy, which will either be about us or contact us, and I click on it, you're going to see we are going to have something weird. It's still the Blocksy thing in the back. And if I go to the bottom, you're going to see we have two footers. So for those, you have to go into our pages. Let's exit. And we have to change the canvas. So the about us, let's edit with Brizy. And I'll click close that one out. Go to the canvas. Same thing here. Put it on Brizy template. Check if the footer is gone. Should be gone. Don't even need to update it. And we do the same for the contact page. Go to dashboard. Oh, there's a sticky header. I don't like that sticky header. Let's remove the sticky header as well. The moment we go into contact, edit with Brizy. And we first change the page template to Brizy template. And after it has reloaded, make sure you wait for that. I'll just remove this sticky header, put it on static. And because it's a global block, it will apply to all the other global headers. And update. Now, if I go and view it on the front end, let's do that. Our global headers should be perfect. Right, home is right. And the about us, come on, show me. About us, yes. And the contact, that's right. Let's close this. And where am I? Let's also close this. Let's go to the very beginning and let's go to the posts. So we started here. We've created, or rather Blocksy created this post for us within Gutenberg. But then we created a template within the Brizy label. And we created this single post template and we assigned it to all our single posts. And now you can see that the global header and footer appears here. We brought in this block and we build it out with the dynamic content here under single in the elements sidebar. And then for the content of the Gutenberg, we brought in this element, which is called a content element. And we just dropped it there. Let's go back to our dashboard, go to our posts, click on it, the first one. And when I now select preview, it's going to give me the Brizy template, not the Blocksy template. There you go. So now we have that. If I though click here on blog at the top, this is still going to give me, yes, it's going to give me the archive posts for the blog as made by Blocksy, the theme. And this can be Astra, Cadence, whichever theme you are using. To change this, we don't use a template. We use it the Brizy way. So let's change that first. Let's go back into WordPress. This means pages, all pages. Create a new page. And this one we will call blog 2 for reference. We don't go totally crazy. If I can just get my typing in order and I'll publish it, publish, and then select edit with Brizy. And you can build out, again, I'll create your own. And the first thing I'll do is I'll put a title in here. Let's call it news, latest news. And I'll make this heading 1. And then we bring in another block. And now in the sidebar, scroll down to the bottom where you see the single category again for all of these that can be related to our single posts. I'll grab posts and drop it, and it's going to populate it with all the posts. There we go. And you can style this one out with the element. I'll go to the element settings. I have 3 columns. Let's add a few more rows so we can make it bigger. And you can add pagination as well. I believe, let's wait for them to populate. Okay, these guys are coming in nicely. Navigation, let's add pagination just in case we need something. There's pagination, I'm not sure. I think there are only 6. Let's do this. This is now our blog archive page that we've created, but we didn't create a template. This is just a normal page. So we say update. Preview it on the front. Let's close this tab. And this, of course, you can style out like we did in part 2 to your heart's content. The challenge we have at this moment is that when I click here on blog in our header, it takes us back to the way that Blocksy will render it. This has got nothing to do with the reading of the page. This is all to do with the menu element. So remember, you have to change the menu element. Let's do that. I'll close it. exit this page that we've just created, go into the back end of WordPress, appearance, menus, and then block 2, select it, add to menu. I'll add it there, and I'll remove this page. I'll keep it as block 2. I can change the name, of course, here, but I'll keep it there so it's easier reference for us. Save the menu. Let's go to the front. Here is our page created with Brizy. Now I click on block 2, which is the archive page for our news blog section. And no surprise, this is what we had created. If I click on any of these guys, it's going to give me the template version because we created them in Gutenberg, but we've created the template for how it can be displayed within Brizy. Great. A few more things. Let's jump back into WordPress. With the Gutenberg Editor, you can use any add-on. Let me show you. Go to plugins, select add new plugin, and choose any of those guys that are doing very well in the market. I'm going to go with Spectra for this one. Let's install it, activate, and there we go. I'll jump back into posts, and now we bring in a few of those. Let's select the first one over here, and then let's scroll to the bottom of this one, bring in a few of this. You see Spectra here has got many. Let's bring in a few big ones. I'm looking for the timeline. Timeline is a big one. Yeah, content timeline. Content timeline. Interesting. What else can we bring in here? Lottie, marketing button, PostScript, post timeline. Oh, okay, that's also interesting. I'm adding big things here so that we can see how it will populate when it is rendered and populated within the Brizy content element. And let's add one more, call to action. There we go. And update. Just remember that the color theme here is taken from your theme settings. Now, all I will do is click on View Post. Remember, once you click on Edit with Brizy here, we are back to part 2 in our series. Now you are using the Brizy Editor and the content can only be designed with Brizy. If for some reason you want to use Gutenberg, this is the way you're going to do it. Like I mentioned, maybe one of the reasons is that you already have a website that has pre-existing posts done in Gutenberg. Then this is the way how you can display it. Select preview, we go to the front and we see this is the page that we've created and this is the content element and here is everything. Again, those colors, remember, they are being drawn from the theme. So you will need to go and change these colors within the theme. Wow, amazing, great, bananas, apples and pears. But one more thing. So we've done a few things here. We have changed our global header and we've changed the global footer. We have changed the canvas on the pages so it is set to Brizy. Then we created a single post archive. We created a blog page for the archive page for the blog, and that we just changed within the menu. But what is important, and many people forget this, is the categories, because at some point someone is going to click on a category somehow and is going to take them to the category archive page. And here, that's why I put in the breadcrumbs as well as the categories, is what's going to happen. We haven't touched this. This is a template. This is currently set to the Blocksy template and we haven't touched it. So once I click on it, this is going to happen. We are back in Blocksy. Everything is being taken from Blocksy. So the last part, and this is going to be applicable to everyone that use Brizy Pro for blogging. You will need to go and set up the archive pages. And for that, we move back into WordPress. We go again to Brizy, templates, click on add new, and now we select here archive. You can design different archive pages. Currently, I have my categories to all, but you can have canyon hills, depends on which categories you've created. We're going to keep it on all, select add, and let's just give it a name. We're going to call this archive categories, publish it, and edit with Brizy. Slight difference here. The element called archive, the infamous element called archive. Let's click here at the top, create your own, And now, when I go to the elements, you will see under archive, it will say archive, title, excerpt, and posts. Let's talk about the difference between these two first, the archive element and the posts element. The archive element, you drag it in, will only show those elements that are applicable to that archive, and you'll see soon. The posts will show everything you set it to show. So the post is a normal post element, and it will show all posts unless you filter it for some reason. We give it the text here so you can see the difference, and I'll call this posts element. And the second thing I will do is here at the top, again under archive, I'll bring in title. And this title again is going to be the archive title. And you see it's not populating because it's not sure which archive you want to show. Let's update this page. And we do it the way we did previously. And that is by going to the front end. I will leave this. I'll just copy my site URL here at the top. Copy, we open a new one, and this takes us to our front end. What is the name of this site? Complementary Cassowary. Right, so let's go to blog 2. We've been through this, and we created our blog page. Great. Then we go into any of our single posts, which we created a template for, which is also honky-dory. And here is the category for this one, hills. Let's select hills and see what happens now. We've assigned the template that we've created to override the Blocksy theme templates. And immediately you can see this is the way, right? So up here, if I go to our template, there's nothing here. But now it knows it's within hills, so it shows us hills. Also, it's taking all the posts that are related to hills and showing them here. The one below here is going to show us all the posts. If I click on this one here, what is this one? Hills. This one has another one called waves. So now I select waves. It says waves. It gives me everything related to waves. And again, it will show me all the posts here. When thus, Johnny and Bobby and Sarah, you are creating the archive page, remember you probably don't want to put in posts here unless you want something like popular posts or something like that. You need to decide how you want to create this, but for most archive pages, perhaps you are not going to add the posts element. And that is how you create archive pages. Like I said, you can go back into your dashboard under your templates within Brizy. Let's select that. Let's go to our archive categories. And you will see down here the display conditions. So if you decide at one point, I want to have a specific archive layout only for my hills, then you can do that. You will have to delete this one first. And after you have deleted it, you set this one to hills and add it. Isn't that brilliant? Now, there's one more tutorial in our series left for blogging within WordPress and Brizy Pro. And that's going to be the possibility, the question, whether we can combine the Brizy way of blogging. That means you create your posts within Brizy, and whether you can also do it with the Gutenberg add-ons and then bring in the content. That we tackle in the next episode. From me, JP, remember to subscribe, give us a like, and visit us at brizy.io. Also, check down in the description below. Many links to make you crazy, and that will take you to other interesting places like the Facebook community. Until next time.